orientation is locked. Why does it never do what I want it to do? Hello, everybody. Gotta get my camera all adjusted now because it doesn't ever want to go the right direction. Hi, Tie-Dye. How are you? Sorry for the seasickness right at the very beginning. All right, we're just gonna have to go this way because I don't want to have to restart everything, and I don't know. I've got my auto rotate on. And I started a video and made sure that it was flipped around the right way, but here we are. I'm going to make some keychains today. Some of my wire keychains. Way back when I first started, hi Trish! Back when I first started, I bought some of these keychains and these little hooks, and then I never used them. And then a few weeks ago, I had made some out of just some regular beads that were laying around, some glass beads and such, and put them out for sale. Hi Sharon, how are you? And I sold 2 out of 5 in 2 shows, so I'm like, well, they're something that people will buy, so I should make some more. So today we're going to make some using some actual crystals and stones. They're pretty easy to make. You've got a bunch of the key ring ones, or key rings. These guys, tie-dye. I said, I don't know why I bought them when I did, but when I was first starting, I didn't know exactly what I was going to be doing. Well, Sharon, sorry about that. Hope everything turns out well. So is everybody starting to get fall weather? We're still a little warm over here, which is fine with me because I love fall weather, except for the fact that winter is coming. And I don't like winter at all. No, we're not that hot here. You guys should be cold by now, tie-dye. Let's see, I think we're in the high 70s. Sun shining. It's getting down into the 50s at night. So it's starting. I was in Pennsylvania last week and the trees are starting to turn into mountains. That was pretty. And everybody is trying to make their predictions for the winter and who's going to get it bad and who's going to get it good. And all right, so I'm going to be using 20 gauge silver wire today. I'm going to do we're going to go 10 inches. I'm not sure how much I'll need, but we're going to try 10. I don't think I'll need more than that, but I could use less. Tomatoes and peppers are going nuts. Regular green sweet peppers, or do you do them super hot ones? Yay. I cannot grow green bell peppers. I don't know why. I've tried several times, several different kinds of soil, and they just don't grow. I have no luck with bell peppers and have no luck with sweet corn. Everything else I plant goes crazy. But for some reason, my corn falls over. One year we planted the climbing type of green beans in with our corn, and the green beans took over the corn. Couldn't even see the corn for the green beans. So after that, we started doing bush beans. All right, so I am going to take just enough wire on the end here, on one end, and I'm going to loop it. I am using the third one up because we're just going to be screwing this onto our keychain like a key when we're done. Just bring this over and around, and then twist it around your wire a couple of times. That turned out kind of weird. Let's back that up. There we go. And you can take and run that 2 or 3 times down, and then just cut off the whatever's left. As soon as I find my cutters, here they are. And just squish it down so it's not stabbing you while you're working with the rest of it. Give it a little mush. Doesn't want to mush. There we go. All right, so we're going to start with I've got some Mookaite jasper beads. Just string your beads on there. Now, I want my keychains to be between 4 and 5 inches long. We can just go ahead and run this on here. So we got a little over 2 inches with the keychain part. So I need another 2 to 3 inches of beads. So that's probably going to be 4 or 5, maybe 6. Let's try 6 and see what we get. Now I am selling the regular glass ones. Just put whatever pattern you want on here. I put $10 on them. Let's put the pretty one on. And like I said, I made 6. I sold 2 at one show and 1 at another show. What do we got here? We got another 2 inches. We can go 1 more bead. All right, so make it however long you want it. Hi, Zelina, how are you? You're still in line, Zelina? No, I can't be late. Drives me crazy when somebody else we all know is late. So put these out of the way. I didn't know how many I was going to need, so I just dumped piles out. I'll put them away later. All right, I am going to try something here. That's too much. You want a little bit of leeway. You don't want it to be tight because you're going to be twisting. There we go. So we're leaving, what? Almost a ½ inch here. We're leaving before we start doing. I want to try something here. Where's my round nose pliers? Here they are. I'm going to try and get a hold of these right here, right at the bend, and just make. I want to make this little spiral type thing down here. Well, that works out pretty nice. Now this is going to be, you want to pick out, doesn't really matter because they're going to spin around. But when you're hanging on your keychain, they're going to be hanging like this. So that's where you want to decide how you want, which is going to be kind of your front. Because then what you're going to do after this little spiral thing on the bottom gets going, you're just going to run it up your bead and kind of across your bead. I may have left too much slack. Then in between your bead. Lay that down, don't need that for a while. This 18 gauge ain't being friendly. I was going to use 20, but I'm almost out of 20. I need to order some more wire. Basically, you're just going to loop this around all of your beads and in between your beads. Maybe it'll be easier. See, I'm getting. Let's try this. Back it off. Let's go a whole. We're going to go a whole wrap between the beads. And then go up over the next one. All the way around. This 18 gauge is a fighter. Well, that's good. Fidget beads, yeah, I may not have given myself enough wire to do it, but wrapping each one all the way around. There we go. Hey, I got a groove going. Yep, I did not give myself enough wire. Look at that. We're going to need at least a foot of wire. Actually, we're going to need probably 14 inches. I didn't account for my spiral down there, or the fact of going around all these beads all the way around. Oh well. That's what happens when you try new things. Sometimes you just gotta cut it off and start over. As you know me, you can pound on copper. Well, I figured I should use silver since the keychains are silver, you know, then they would match. I guess it doesn't matter. I don't know. What do you think? Because I've got some plain copper over here. I've got some antique bronze. The antique bronze 18 gauge is definitely more forgiving than the silver is. I don't have a lot of that either. I've got to do an order. I don't know. Let's try it. I'm going to give myself about 18. We're going to go about 14 inches this time. Now I'm going to use antique bronze, 18 gauge. I said, use the third one down, spin it around. Wrap it around. Don't worry about your wrap not being all that great. We're gonna, it's much easier. Loops are a little wonky again, so just back them up a little. There we go. Cut off your excess. Lost my little piece. Is it really bothering anybody that the camera's in this mode instead of sideways mode? Switch that down. They do. Yeah, I do need to go. What does me being tall have anything to do with the way the camera's oriented? Finding the holes. Then hitting the holes. I say I'll have to go and check. I don't have a Fleet Farm close to me. I've got one. I do have a oh, what is that place called? I'm not going with the whole half an inch this time. I'm going with closer to a quarter. I don't remember what the place is called. It starts with an R. At the moment, it escapes me. Get our little spiral thing going here. Got a lot more wires, so I gotta watch. That spiral is not turning out as pretty as the other one did. See, it's going to be like that, so that'll work. Make sure everything's straightened out. Which it's not here at the bottom because that bead doesn't want to lay where I want it. So something's bent in there. Try and straighten it out. There we go. That's better. All right. So that still gives me plenty of slack. So we're just going to go up and around the bead, around the wire, and up and around the next bead, around the wire, up and around the next bead, and around the wire, and up around the next bead, and around the wire. We're basically just going to swirl our way up to the top so that it looks like that. And then we're just gonna do our normal scarf. See, now before I ran out of wire, now I've got way too much. And look at that. Yeah, 4 inches too much. I had about 14, so 10 inches works out well with this one. I don't know why. So we're just scarfing our little bail up here, just like we always do. It keeps freezing. Sorry about that. I don't know what my actual YouTube is doing, because on my computer I've just got the chat blown up so I can see what you guys are saying. Here we go. Spiral's a little crooked, so we can flatten that out a little. Here we go. See, another thing I'm worried about with the antique bronze is, yeah, it's a lot easier to work with. See, we just spiraled it right up to beads. But it's also a lot softer, and I'm worried about it bending too easily while it's being used. So there's the whole outfit. See, there we go. One keychain done. So I've got a little bit of silver 20 gauge left. Thanks, tie-dye. Mangled it, straighten her out a little bit. I've been working all day making jewelry and doing paperwork. Ourselves about a foot. Yeah, the moot kite is fall colors, wouldn't it? So we're going to do the same thing we did before. Third one down, wrap it around. Let's see if we can't do it right this time. Just wrap it around your wire a couple, 3 times. Still didn't come out straight, so straighten it out if you need to. Basically all I'm doing is getting it back on here, just taking the whole thing and just bending it back a little until our loop is fairly straight with our wire. Cut off our little excess here. Still got it mangled. Squish her down. That would squish down easy. I'm gonna shove this thing in there. That's better. All right, now for this one, we're going to be doing sodalite. I got some, oh, those Mukite beads are 8mm. These are 8 and 6. So I just have to put them on there and see how many we need to come up with our 4 inches or so. What is a nadir bead? I'm going to go an 8mm and a 6mm all the way up the road here. It's really hard to find the holes through the camera. Uh-oh, dropped one. Runaway bead. Ooh, a dark one. Oh, the evil eye beads, okay. I did not know they had another name. Mostly white with one little blue patch. Couple more. So this one and this one. And we'll end it with a big one. There we go. I got 3.5 inches. It's going to give us a 5.5 inch keychain. This one, I'm just going to bend over. I'm not going to worry about the spiral. Just going to bend it over and start wrapping. Just going to run them right on up. Even the little beads get us. We're just going around each bead, like halfway around the bead, and then I'm starting up. That's not right. Yeah, it is. Trying to keep all of my bead sections spinning on the same side. The wire spiraling up on the same side as all the rest of the beads. Just so it's a little more uniform, you know. Oh, I should have used more wire. I think I've got enough. I'm not going to be able to scarf it like I did the other one, but we've got enough to lock it in anyway. I've learned my lesson. I'm just squishing it around, squishing it down, making sure that the sharp edge is gone. Sometimes you can find a place where the sharp edge can slide in underneath another wire. Nobody's really going to notice unless it pokes them, so you just got to make sure it won't poke them. Do not want to scar your customers. And there's number 2, sodalite. Now my favorite, amethyst. We're going to use the last of my silver on this one, I think. No, there might be enough for one more. So have we been making any jewelry other than me and Zelina? I know that she has, because we shared some pictures. Yep, not stop. You mean non-stop, right? There it goes. Yeah, I had to do some more organizing this morning. Had to do some paperwork this morning. For those of you that don't know, my son does EDM, electric dance music festivals, and he has started taking my jewelry and doing quite well for me. And then I had that crazy day earlier in the month. So between the two of us, we've sold like 60 pieces this week, or this month. So I was a little behind, and I was going to spend all weekend this weekend, yesterday and today, making jewelry. But this month was my grandson's 3rd birthday, and apparently the new Paw Patrol movie came out, and he is a Paw Patrol nut. So they wanted to take him to Paw Patrol, the Paw Patrol movie with his little best friend. And for those of you that don't know, Build-A-Bear, up until you're like 12 or something like that, take your kid into Build-A-Bear. On their birthday month, you can get a Build-A-Bear for the price of their age. So he went to Build-A-Bear, got a Build-A-Bear for $3 whole. And wouldn't you know it, they had Paw Patrol Build-A-Bears there, so he got him a Paw Patrol puppy. It's a little longer than the other one. Let's take one off. That'll do. So they did that yesterday, and in order for them to do that, of course, they needed somebody to watch the 2 younger ones. And guess who had to do that? So I didn't get any jewelry made yesterday because by the time they were gone, I was exhausted. So I've been working and organizing today. I've got him filled up, and I think I've got enough for me for my show. I've got a show on the 21st. He's got a show. I don't like that. I don't like that either. Get over here. Trying to climb on each other the wrong way. I've got a show on the 21st. He's got a show on the weekend, or a festival, I should say, on the weekend before that. And that's my last show for the year. So See, now look at that. Now I got 4 inches of wire left over again. I can't win. I am not precision enough to use the exact same amount of wire. Oh, I completely missed that one. He's on the back. 1 bead. Oh well. Somebody will love it. Look at that. That bead got spun around the back. Now, Trish, if I'm not mistaken, are you you're Reason 25 jewelry, right? There we go. All right, we have now some rhodonite. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to do 7. Make it a little different. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see which ones we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not rhodonite. 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do 7 beads. These are the 8 millimeters again. All of these are 8 millimeter except for the little sodalite ones. They were 6. More silver. 20 gauge. 13 inches or so. And that about wipes me out. That's all I got left is that little piece. Reason 25 jewelry has got a beautiful setup. I would have never thought to use orange for my... Oh, stay far away from them, Zelina. Well, did you guys hear that? I don't know if you did or not. And it sure blew my eardrum out. And there, actually, that was a rooster crow, which is my notifications sound, because when I'm in my truck and all the road noise and everything, I wanted a sound that was loud enough. Oh crap, hang on. I may lose you for a second. I gotta check on my dog. Sounded like a dog fight in my backyard. Wanted to make sure my dog wasn't outside. Don't need him killing off the neighbor's dogs. But anyway, I use a rooster crow because it's loud enough in my truck and it's outside of the environment of, you know, if I'm listening to my radio and road noise, and things like that, then I don't, it's something that'll catch my attention because it's a sound that doesn't belong. And so I got some kind of notification. Little working mama. How you doing, mama? Welcome to the show. This is only my third or fourth one, so you haven't missed a whole lot, but you can go back and watch the other ones. You're more than welcome to. I just make jewelry and with stones and crystals, and today we're doing beads. I've got some how-to videos on my YouTube channel. That piece is not wanting to squish down at all. There we go. All right, you're more than welcome to watch those. Like and subscribe, and I've got several more. It's not good to beat up the nurses, so Sharon. Okay. So anyway, we got 8mm rhodonite beads. I got 20 gauge that soft wire. I made my little bail at the top, and then we're just going to string the beads on here. Little working mama, we are making some keychains today and just chatting. Most of the people that are on the chat right now have known each other for a while, well over a year anyway. But we always welcome new people. So we just string our beads on here in whatever pattern we want to do. And bend this over and then kind of curve it around and then loop it around, curve it around. We're just going to spiral our way up to the top. Now I'm going to sell these, since they are crystal and stone, I'm going to sell these for about $2 more than I'm selling the other ones for. And we'll see what happens. Yeah, I got it a little too tight, so it bowed up on me a little. Just wrap it around till we've got a nice pull to pop it down into. Trim off the excess. Bend it in. See, just for anybody new that's watching, let's see if I can get this thing to show us what we need to see. There we go. We got a little bowl down in there. We're going to push that piece of wire right down into that little bowl so that it disappears and never pokes anybody anywhere. Gone. Oops, that one's already connected. That one's already connected. My new stuff and my old stuff's getting messed around. Shadeen. All right. Well, welcome to our little group. And it's Shadeen, not Shadeen, right? top here, straighten it out. Oh, we're really mangled. We're going to take you off. Now you're all kinds of crafty. See, we're crooked here. So we're just going to take our pliers and straighten the whole thing out. And there's one good thing about wire. It is fairly forgiving. You can generally bend it back where you wanted it to go if it didn't go exactly your way. There we go. And this one is rhodonite. So now let's see. These are actually, are these 7mm? They look smaller than the 8. Let's turn you on. Get in there. 7.8. Were these 8mm that I've been doing? Yep, 8.3. So they are a shade bit. Got my agate beads here. Faceted agate beads. We're going to want at least 8 of these because they're just a shade bit smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, good. What have I got here? Where is... Did I run myself out of 20 gauge gold too? I don't see it up here. I don't see it down there. We're going to use 18 gauge antique bronze for these. That'll work. I'm running short on wire. Wire work is fun. I enjoy it immensely. I don't mess with a bunch of the other stuff, but the wire stuff I do. And some of my grandkids are interested in learning how to do it. So that's why I started my tutorials. And my friends asked me to do some lives. So here I am doing tutorials and lives like a big grown-up boy. Ooh, barely gave myself enough to wrap that. I don't like that. Ooh, those are beautiful. I don't have the patience for that kind of intricate work. My son keeps wanting me to do wire weaving, and I'm like, he's like, you can sell it for $200, $300, $400 a piece if you do that. And I'm like, yeah, but where's my sanity going to be when I'm done? Because I don't have the patience for that mess. I tried it. Did not work out well. And I do this as my hobby and my relaxation, so I do not want to be frustrated while I'm doing my rest and relaxation and fun stuff. So wire weaving, I do not do. And those trees look like they're... The show I was at earlier this month, the guy did trees. They were absolutely gorgeous. But they looked like they were way too intricate for me and my patience to deal with. There we go. Sorry about that, I went off camera. I just have not mastered the whole do everything while I'm looking through the camera. So I try and keep one eye on the camera while I'm looking around the camera. All right, then we just add our beads in the pattern that we decided we were going to do them in. I chose these beads out of the string of beads that I had for these little faceted agate beads. Where's the hole? Because these were the ones that I thought would make the least pretty rings. The other beads are just prettier for rings. My next tutorial is on tumbles. I believe Mimi D asked for that particularly. So I was right. It takes a lot of time and patience. And she's doing the bead ones. The guy I saw only used wire. They were absolutely beautiful. But I've seen the beaded ones too. Say the only tree I do is I'll do a tree of life on a stone. My whole tree is made out of wire. We're just wrapping it around, spiraling upward, trying to keep the spiral in the same place so that it's all on the same side. Hey, I did it right that time. They're all pretty much in the same place. You have a few what you want to wrap. Tie-dye. A few keychains. While I have you here, tie-dye, I have a question. I asked you on another show that we are both at. I don't know if you didn't see it or if you didn't want to answer. Oh, tumbles. But my question, tie-dye, is would you be willing to trade some jewelry for a couple of your awesome shirts? Yeah, I learned how to crochet. Depends on sizes. Well, I wear a 2XL. And that's what they would both be, because they're both for me. And there's our agate one. All right. So I went through that fairly quickly. These roll over the other way. Some of them are longer than the others. I really got long with the sodalite one. Can't see the sodalite one. Let's move him over here. There we go. You're flipped around the wrong way. Can't see the swirlies. Ah, we need to twist the whole thing, don't we? Here we go. Thanks, tie-dye. As far as colors go, I'd prefer no paint, but other than that, you can do whatever you want. Does it say purple, green, blue, yellow? Yes, this one here is Mookaite. Good eye, mama. It's not only the first one in line, it's the first one I made tonight. So yeah, we've got Mookaite, we've got Amethyst, we have Rhodonite, Agate, and Sodalite. Pardon me while I take a drink. But I wear t-shirts when I'm driving my 18-wheeler, and I'm starting to wear out some of my t-shirts. If you don't want to trade for jewelry, that's fine. Don't have any cash right now, so I just thought I have jewelry, don't have cash. I've got stones, don't have cash. If you've got some stones you're interested in that you haven't been able to find, I got plenty of those. All right, guys, I know it has only been about an hour, but I've been sitting in this chair all day. So if you want to just chat, trade for moccasins, I could do that too. That I could do. I got leather that I'm not using, so that would be fine. Oh, Mama tie-dye does her tie-dyeing for friends and family, and she doesn't sell most of the time. So no, she does not have a site. But yeah, I can make you a pair of moccasins if you want. I'd need 3 shirts for that though. Elk hide is expensive. Yeah, tie-dye is one of those people that just does it for fun. I do my jewelry for fun too, but I ended up buying a whole bunch of stones, and I was informed by my loving wife that I needed to figure out a way to get rid of this stuff. Anybody have any shows coming up? Like I said, I got one on the 21st. By the time I put oh, who, me? Yeah, I've got a mortgage. Technically I don't, but I've got rent. I've got a mortgage and rent, but my son is paying the mortgage because he's in the big house. We moved to a smaller one. I'm gone all the time. My wife's working anywhere from 40 to 60 hours a week. So our big 5-bedroom, 2-story house was a little much for both of us to keep clean. And people kept moving in with us. So we moved into a house that only had enough room to fit my youngest son in and us. And And when he moved out, all of my craft stuff was kicked upstairs into one of the rooms that are upstairs. Then my oldest son had a third little baby. So that meant we had to go and get a minivan instead of our little crossover that we had, because the crossover would not hold 3 baby seats. Wow. That's definitely a lot of kids. I watch all 3 of my grandchildren, and after one day, I'm completely exhausted. All 3 of them are under 3 that are here. I've got 4 other grandchildren in North Carolina. Don't get to see them very often. 12 kids. I couldn't even imagine. There was 4 of us when I was growing up, and I had 3. And that was more than enough for me. But little working mama, here in another hour to an hour and a half. I got a 4-bedroom house, and each bedroom is set up for doing one craft or another. 6 girls, 6 boys, 3 grandsons, 2 that I raised, and 3 granddaughters with new one coming in January. Holy cow! And I'll bet you cook for them. Oh my. Wish I had somebody to cook for me. We do our big family things, and everybody wants me to bring the childhood favorites because they know I can cook them. Oh, I was going to say, little working mama, Shadeen. In another hour to an hour and a half, there is another show that most of us go to. That is a live show. He sells crystals and stones, and it is called Matt's Crazy Art. And most of us that are here, all of us that are here except for you, met on that show. So you're more than welcome to join us over there. He's nowhere near as reliable as to what time he starts, but he's supposed to start at 6 Eastern Standard Time. It was like 7:45 Eastern Standard Time by the time he started last night, but he's usually not that late. But yeah, that's you don't want any of your little grandchildren watching his show. Yeah, if you scroll down far enough into my YouTube, you'll find me singing and playing a banjo. I'm a Renaissance man. Well, Zelina, I learned how to cook when I was a kid, because my mom wanted to make sure that I could feed myself while I was single. It was absolutely hilarious the first time my first wife got angry with me. She's like, "So, you can just starve," and stormed off into the bedroom. And when she came out, I had a steak and some potatoes and a salad and some corn. She's like, "You can cook?" Yep, I can cook. It is Matt's Crazy Art. It should be Crazy Matt's Art. But yeah, he's not as well behaved, and he's a little more loud and rambunctious, but it's fun. And my lovely partner for life now, my wife, she is so sweet. I tried to make homemade chili one day. That was one thing that I did not learn how to do when I was a kid. And it was awful. She took a bite before I could get sat down and everything. And I'm like, "How is it?" And she's like, "It's good." And I took a bite. I'm like, "No, it's not. Like, you do not have to lie to me. This is horrible." She's like, "Well, I'll eat it." And I'm like, "Well, I ain't eating it. If you want to eat it, you can, but I'm throwing it away. We're ordering pizza." But she likes crazy, weird stuff. I'm not a big I'm not a big fan of a bunch of spices. And especially if you mess with the stuff that I grew up eating. Because she thinks that one of the dishes that I make is way too bland. And when I wasn't looking, because it took about 4 hours to cook it on the stove, she tried to sneak in a bunch of spices, and I took one bite, and I'm like, "Well, I hope it tastes good to you, because I'm not eating it." So now she adds the spices to her bowl. Yeah, I'm not afraid of housework either. It's not a thrilling thing to do, but if it needs done, I do it. To say my little sister wasn't born until I was 14, so you can bet your bottom dollar my mom had us doing. Well, see, the thing is I like spicy as in, hot. My best my best friend's cousin married a wonderful Hispanic lady, and she made us some Tex-Mex chili. Oh man, this was when I was in high school, and we were sitting there sweating, and we ate every bite, loved it. I can't eat like that anymore. If I ate that chili now, I'd be awake for 3 days with heartburn. Yeah. See, all I'd have to do is look at that, and I'd get heartburn. I had a cast iron stomach until I was about 30. After that, but anyway, I mean, I like spices in other stuff, but because she added, I don't know what all she added, but that particular dish is the dish I grew up eating all the time when I was a kid. So it needs to taste like it did. Oh, tie-dye, you're not that old. But I don't have, I actually asked for suggestions on what to do for this live from a couple of people. I wasn't sure what to do. I'm trying to decide whether you guys want to do this, make stuff in chat, or if you want me to try and teach you how to do something different. I like this. I like my last live was just making jewelry and chatting, and I like that. What other things do I make? Let's see. I have some stuff over here. I do earrings, bracelets, pendants. Pendants are my big seller. I do craft shows. I have a Facebook page that's got, I've gotten way behind on. Yeah, it doesn't look good in the bags, so let's just take them out. Yeah, once I started on this whole wire wrapping trip, I kind of went a little crazy on it. Here's a little serpentine butterfly. I use black wire on him so he's hard to see on the camera. There he goes. I just put a spiral on top of there. Got some little earrings here, little turtle howlite earrings. Those are just some bead earrings. I did some tutorials on the earrings. And then I've got my pendants that I make. The last live I was working on arrowheads. I got one or two of them here. My son sold two of the three opalite arrowheads that I had made on the last live. Which ironically, he sold those two and it paid for all of the opalite arrowheads that I had bought and all of the actually I bought opalite arrowheads. I bought these obsidian arrowheads, and I bought these little amethyst arrowheads, and I got them all off of Amazon. Those were smaller than I expected them to be, but they're still cute. Maybe somebody will like small ones. Which pendant? I'm sorry. I was just throwing stuff out and not reading. I'm too tired to make the skull bracelet this week. I'm going to be working next weekend, so I may be parked. Nope, have not sold the exotic moon. The first one. This one? This one is a dragon vein agate, I think. It's some kind of agate. I don't have a light to go behind it. Maybe I need a flashlight up here. But yeah, hang on a second. Nope, it's not a dragon vein agate. It's just an agate. pretty pink agate that you can see through the pink part. All of my lighting is messing it up. But thank you. Oh. He did not sell the exotic moon. Yeah, I've got all these skull beads I made some earrings out of earlier. I was wanting to make a bracelet out of them. But I am quickly running out of steam. That was what I was going to do before somebody mentioned that they'd like to see the key rings. So I was going to make that skull bracelet, and I will at some point. I will put it in my sack of stuff that I take in the truck with me because I'm going to be working next weekend. Well, thank you very much. And when I'm working sometimes, especially if I'm working the weekend, sometimes I have to park for a while. And when I do, I make jewelry. If I'm parked for more than 12 hours, I'm generally making some jewelry. Depends on where I'm at. If I'm at a truck stop or a rest area or something, I'm going to be there for 12 hours or more, I'll make some jewelry. I don't make jewelry when I'm backed into a building getting loaded or unloaded because you never know how long they're going to take. And it takes a good 20 minutes to set up in my truck and another 30 to or longer to tear it all down and put it all away. So by the time they come and tell me that I'm loaded or unloaded, they generally don't want me hanging around for another half hour after that. Oh yes, I love meeting fellow rappers. Unfortunately, I've only met Tie-Dye and Tiff. Pretty sure that's the only two that I've met so far. But yes, I'm always happy to meet and greet. Coffee, tea, whatever. Yes, I made some skull earrings for Halloween last year. And I had the plain one, or the ones that actually look like bone. I sold several of those last year. That's why I have so many this year, because I immediately went out and bought some more. I also have, I think, some blue and some green. Those didn't sell so good. I think I still have those. I've got to break out my holiday stuff for my show in 2 weeks. Next weekend I'll be setting everything up for that show and making sure I'm all organized. Okay, well, I'm all out of talk and all out of work and all out of energy. So I am going to say goodbye and good night. Yeah, next weekend I'm working, and the weekend after that I've got my grandchildren because my son has a show down in Tennessee to go to. So I'm going to have the grandbabies that weekend. So maybe I've got a show on the 21st, so maybe alive on the 22nd. And it was nice to meet you, little working mama, and hopefully I'll see you in an hour or so at Matt's Crazy Art. Yes, I am going to Matt's. I'm going to go down and get my pizza going, and then when Matt's there, I'll sit and eat my pizza and listen to Matt rant and rave. See if he's got anything new. So I'll be at Matt's whenever he shows up. Like I said, I'm supposed to show up at 5 o'clock Central Time, so 6 o'clock Eastern Time. This channel is here on YouTube, correct? And if my tutorials are a little too what's the word I'm looking for, absolute basic, because mine are absolute basics, because I have 4 grandsons and 1 granddaughter that are in the 9 to 12 range, and a couple of them have been wanting to learn how to do this stuff, so I have geared my tutorials to that level. That's why it says absolute basics, because they are the absolute basics. And the ones that I'm doing here lately have been a little more than absolute basic, but yeah, that's the idea. Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6, and I may do a tutorial on these key rings for them, so that's 7 right now. I have 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, right now I have 7 more videos that I know I'm going to do. All right, well, it was nice meeting you, little working mama. Like I said, me being a truck driver, and my son and daughter-in-law, they go to music festivals, and they're working for a guy that vends at music festivals, and he and his wife are going to Tennessee in 2 weeks, and then they've got 2 in November. So what I'm trying to say is that go ahead and subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell so that you know when I'm on again, because I am not. I try and make sure I do at least 1 live a month, and I try and do a tutorial a week, but it doesn't always work out that way, because my little 3-year-old grandson is a shadow. If he's here, I can't do anything that I don't want him getting into, because all I have to do is walk out of the room to go get a cup of coffee, and he's on my heels. I love that little dude, but it's exhausting. So you all have a great night. I'll see you guys later at Matt's. I hope you join us, Mama. And yeah, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye, all. Yeah, I got a 2-year-old granddaughter. My grandson is energetic and clingy, and my 2-year-old granddaughter is, well, she'll be 2 here in another couple of months. She's as feral as and she is feral enough that if she doesn't want to use her hands to eat, she will just stick her face in the bowl and eat. She just doesn't care. She's just a wild one. And the other one's only a few months old. He's just starting to roll around, so at least he stays in the general vicinity where I plop him. Yeah, they keep me young or make me feel a lot older. I feel young the first day I have them, but sometimes we have them 3 days in a row, and by the 3rd day, I'm feeling how old I am. We'll see y'all later. Have a great night. Bye-bye.